Here are some sketches that I did over the past couple of days, and I'm gonna show you what these are. So basically what I did was I used a random generator which told me an animal, a flower, and a butterfly, and so I combined them all. For this one, I actually got suggestions from my partner. He wanted a goose, and then he wanted dragonfly wings and Venus flytraps. So that one was a special request. And then for this one as well, a friend of mine on Instagram told me she wanted to see a skunk, peonies, and the blue common butterfly. So we've got that going. And then for this one, it was from the random generator. It was a badger. So this one was the badger, red admiral butterfly, and the flowers were impatiens. I've never seen these flowers before, so I thought, why not? And then for this one, it was actually the very first one. I started with the smallest paper. This is the thorny devil with greenish blue butterfly. So that's literally the name of the butterfly. And then the plant is a spotted bee balm. I really like the silhouette of it, so I kind of very roughly drew that in. But as you can see, I reimagined these animals. They aren't exactly what the species look like, and they're basically my little butterfly animals. It's so random, but over the last couple of days, it's been so hot in the UK, like over the past week. Again, another heat wave, I know. I couldn't be in the conservatory, and also it was just far too hot to be in here and doing anything. So I finally had enough, and I wanted to do something that I could do in the living room. So without having to bring all of my supplies in, I decided to just bring in my pencil and basically all of my watercolor papers. So I've actually got a variety. I've got these two hot pressed watercolor papers, and then these ones cold press. I wanted to have like individual pieces because on like different paper pads, so that I can kind of like work on them simultaneously, especially because these ones are glued together. So this one is glued and this one is glued. These two are not, so I can take them out, but I think I'm gonna start off with these and see how I can paint them, or just go ahead and see what I can make. I've been really inspired. I don't know if you've seen the butterfly bunny that I did and painted, and then I also did this recent piece, and I don't know, they're just like making me want to paint characters like this and try them out, especially on like loose individual pieces of paper instead of my sketchbook, because I feel like it, you know, it could work in a frame and things like that, like more actual pieces of paper than using my sketchbook. So let's see what we can make. Okay, so I actually do think I'm gonna start off with the smallest one. I'm kind of intimidated, especially because I haven't painted in a while. I don't want to set off too ambitious, even though the ones that I've drawn are so ambitious already. So I'm just gonna start off with this mini one and see how it goes. I honestly don't really know what I want to do yet. I know I want to use watercolor and gouache probably, so let me pull my watercolor and gouache out. So these are all gouache, and then I've got some watercolor here. I've also got these watercolors here. I've got a bunch of watercolors. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and figure something out. I don't have a plan or like a color palette in mind. I know I want to be kind of goofy with it. I don't know how to explain it, but I might use my mini sketchbook to decide on some color as I go. So that might be a good idea. I like these minis because they're so comfortable to use and they don't take too much space up on the desk either. So I'm gonna start off by erasing the pencil. I decided to go ahead with pencils for these because I don't know, I just wanted to have a very erasable medium, because with the color pencils you have to be way more sure on the lines than you do with a regular graphite. And with this one, I just wanted to, honestly, I didn't have a plan. I knew I wanted to sketch up a few pieces because painting was gonna be too much for the heat, so I knew I wanted to get some ideas flowing, and yeah, I decided to just go ahead with pencil, and I'm loving the way that they turned out as well. I think they're super cute. So I don't know what color palettes I'm gonna go for just yet. But yeah, I'm just trying to take away some of the pencil line. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and spritz everything first. Just gonna do everything so that I can comfortably pick up whatever I need, basically. I'm just gonna try figuring out what colors. I mean, the Thorny Devil. Oh no, I've got some black in there. How's that happened? Anyway, so the Thorny Devil's got like all of these oranges and like brown colors, so I want to do some of them, maybe some like orangey red kind of color. Maybe that was a bit too much, but yeah, kind of like all of these like brown colors. I love that one. That one's like a really nice color. And then you've got these like yellow ochre, maybe like some gouache from here, some like yellows. So basically you can kind of see what I'm thinking, like oranges. And then the butterfly is more of this turquoisey color, but like a very neutral, like it's not super overwhelming. It's got slight tinge of blue, so yeah, maybe like not too powerful of a blue, so like more of like this turquoisey color as well. And then it's got a bunch of like light color, so I mean it doesn't have to be like a white, but like kind of like that. I mean it kind of fits, to be honest, like the black in there, but how did that happen? But yeah, there is like some grays and some colors like that, so I would definitely say some black as well, some dark, so that's perfect color. But I kind of want to bring in some more darker color, so I feel like this darker red would be nice, probably from like a bit more saturated. So yeah, I kind of like this kind of a watercolor palette. No, I kind of like this kind of palette. I think it could look pretty cool. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna keep that to the side and kind of go off of that basically as I'm going along. So I'm painting along, so I might even go ahead and do like the whole page, and then I can figure it out from there. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use a bunch of that white and like water down some like greenish bluish paint, maybe that turquoisey color, and then basically yeah, just go ahead with that. Just gonna do that all over and then use that basically as the background. There's some more blue here so that I can just cover the whole thing, and I think the oranges will look really good with blues and green kind of turquoisey colors. So looking forward to seeing what this turns out. Okay, now I gotta wait to dry it. Okay, so for this thorny little devil, I'm gonna color him in with this orangey yellow and then see where I can go from there. I'm gonna avoid the wings because the wings are gonna be kind of like a bluey tinge, maybe some like white because of the species of the butterfly. So I managed to dry the page off, which is why it's not like bleeding into the background. I kind of debated whether to not dry it and just go ahead, but I thought it would just make it really messy and like kind of difficult to understand what I'm painting at that point. It's kind of hard now because of the shape shapes that I've done, and the pencil lines are kind of not very clear. I like the way that this yellow looks over the top of like the bluey green background. I was worried that it's gonna dull the color over the top, but actually it doesn't look too bad. So the reason why this like thorny devil by itself is obviously a lizard, but when I saw the thorny devil pop up in the generator, I instantly thought, oh my god, that's the little like dragon creatures. They look like little dragons and they're so adorable, so I knew I wanted to draw something a bit more like dragon inspired, so I came up with this idea, and I'm really glad that I did, because I think I'm gonna play with the textures where he's like kind of half fluffy, kind of not. He's more like you know, spiny, spiky kind of texture, but I'm gonna make him be both in a way, and it's gonna be like a little bit confusing of why, but I kind of want it that way, where it's a little bit more experimental in a way, and like blending of these two textures could be kind of interesting. So actually it dried off a little bit faster than I thought it would. I was hoping that it wouldn't dry so fast, but it's drying a little faster than I anticipated. Okay, as you saw, I mentioned that I actually did this a couple of weeks ago, and that is true. And I've been meaning to post this video for the said 2 weeks, and I don't know why I just lost it. I couldn't edit. Like, I edited to a point and then I'd come back and I'm like, okay, yeah, after work tonight I'm gonna finish editing this video and I'm gonna get it out for you guys and everything's gonna be great. But things just kept piling up and then I couldn't edit it, and right now I'm sitting and I'm hoping to finally finish editing. But I think this is the type of struggles that I've been dealing with recently, especially because I got demonetized on YouTube. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but that really demotivated me, and it just kind of like made me want to give up a little bit and stop doing YouTube. I don't want to stop doing YouTube just because of that. I want to keep going and keep, you know, posting and proving to myself that I can do it. I have a very scattered brain. I don't know how well you guys know me, but yeah, I'm sure that by my videos already, if you've been watching. If you haven't, please subscribe and leave a like, or let me know in the comments if you've been here before. And yeah, it's just, you know, my brain goes like 100 miles an hour and I just lose interest really quickly. I'll start doing something and I'll have all this ambition and want to keep doing, and then as soon as I get one block in front of me, I just kind of lose it straight away. And yeah, it kind of gives me like this impending doom, and then I kind of spiral and get really sad that I'm not doing anything to, you know, do anything. But I always just keep trying and doing as much as I can in the meantime before I get burnt out. But that's just the reality, I think, because I'm obviously trying to run a tiny little baby micro business, as well as doing YouTube and doing a job that I go to 30 hours a week. You know, it does get to you sometimes, but I do just keep trying. As I mentioned about the demonetization on YouTube, I might, you know, mention it in another video and give you more details about it, but it's really stressful and I don't think I'm gonna be monetizing this channel anytime soon. So please enjoy all the ad-free viewing that you can get on here. And yeah, I hope you enjoy my videos. I mean, like I said, it's a stretch. I'm still learning how to edit and things like that, so it, you know, it just keeps growing, but I am trying to improve as much as I can, as, you know, as an artist and as a person who's trying to make this my job one day, which is gonna be, you know, quite a distance away. But in the meantime, I spent like a week trying to get my website up and running, which you can go view now. It's live. It's also got my store in there as well, so if you did want to support me, you can always do that by viewing or, you know, following me on Instagram. That's when I'm the most active, I think. You can also view all my garden updates that I do pretty much every day. And yeah, I have so much fun doing it. I think having a garden has been so inspiring, especially for like the way that I do make art. Like it's very, you know, nature inspired, so being around nature and things that grow, and I can't be happier with it. Like every time I look at my garden, I just, you know, sigh and be like, I can't believe that this is all from my hands. Like it brings me so much joy, the same way that art does. I think I just love making things. And yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, you know, kind of in a burnout stage where I'm, you know, kind of not wanting to do anything but also doing a lot at the same time. I've got quite a few commissions coming up now that I've got to complete, and then I'm also obviously doing a lot of sketchbooking, which I'll show you in another video. I'm nearing to the end of my sketchbook, so I'm hoping to do a sketchbook tour soon. I do still have my old sketchbook that I need to do a tour for, so let me know if you want to see that. That's for my Pith Green sketchbook. I don't think I've viewed this one on here before, but yeah, super exciting things. But at the end of the day, I'm happy to be here and I love doing this, and I need to remember that when I'm having a really, really hard time. And yeah, I hope you're here for the long of the ride and enjoy my videos as much as I love making them, even though it's a great big struggle. But it's so rewarding at the end watching the videos play back, and I watched them a few times to get used to it. But yeah, I did start another one of these, the skunk painting, but I'm still in the process of painting it. Again, I was so motivated and I wanted to get it done, but then work came around and all of the other things piled on, and like during the heat as well in the UK, it's been so hot recently again. It just keeps getting hotter and hotter, and there's just so little motivation to like do anything, especially on my days off when I'm at home and I'm literally forced to be in the heat. And yeah, I'm really been struggling to finish that piece. I have done a couple different things in my sketchbooks, but I haven't gone back to this series specifically. But actually, I did write out a whole storyline, not storyline, but like a whole idea of these creatures. So I'm so excited to show you that soon, about what these creatures are and what they do and their backstory, basically, like ideas. I'm still coming up with the names, but it should be super, super fun. Okay, so I finally managed to finish this and I love it. I think it turned out really good. Now, last thing I have to do is try and unpeel it from the glue pad. I always find this so stressful because I've had bad experiences where I've like ripped the paper, but I think this one's not too bad. Yay! I think this one's not so bad because the paper is quite thick, but yeah, there's like little bits that I can cut off with some scissors after. But yeah, I love it. I think it turned out really good. I definitely worked way longer on it than I wanted to. There was just so many like elements and little details that I wanted to add, so I just kept painting. And I actually wanted to do a whole nother piece today, one of the other ones, because I'm starting back work tomorrow. Don't know when this video will be posted, so this could be way off schedule, but but yeah, Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I had so much fun with this little guy. I think as the small format let me do a bunch of details and it just turned out so nice and textured. I think I'm really getting the hang of this like kind of stylization of things, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for being here and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.